I'm going to keep this short, and I know this bill's got a head of steam, but I just want to point out a few things that a few of us have an issue with, and I hope that as this bill goes to the Senate, maybe it can be dealt with on the other side. 5 problems. Number 1, this doesn't allow anybody who is unbanked to use their system. The unbanked is a serious problem. The studies, the FDIC just a year ago said that 7% of our population doesn't have access to banking. 20% is underbanked. It's 27% of the population. That's a lot of people in Virginia, folks, and they will not be able to use this service, number 1. Number 2, if you need a wheelchair lift, this doesn't help you. And I know there's language in the bill at the very end that says we're going to go back and look at wheelchair accessibility and see if it impacts wheelchair accessibility in the next year. But the problem with that, if this business ends up putting the cab companies out of business, what this means is that if you got to get a wheelchair lift, it's going to become a government service instead of a private service. And that means our taxpayers are going to end up paying for that. And I really think we need to look at the wheelchair lift aspect of this. Thirdly, the issue I raised yesterday about keeping statistics about hails that are not accepted, that is to see if they are in fact picking up everybody in every neighborhood, there is no basis to keep that data. So if we want to go and see if they're actually following the law, there's no way to fact check that. 4th and 5th, and most importantly, folks, is the insurance issue. The insurance issue is a big problem. Number 1, the liability limit, $50,000, is beneath what many localities require. So we're basically having an insurance threshold which is lower than what cab companies currently have on most cabs already. And that's a big deal for people to get hurt or people to get hit by cabs. Remember, this is not just about the people in the cab, but also the people that they hit when they're driving around. Secondly, on the insurance side, this is going to create a situation where a lot of these people don't have insurance at all. Why do I say that? I had a constituent who owns a cab company. He took, I think, 8 rides in these Uber cars. At the end of each ride, he said, hey, will you come back in 30 minutes and pick me up? And 6 out of 8 times they came back, didn't use the app, paid cash. What's the problem with that? Number 1, it's not covered by the Uber policy. Number 2, it's not covered by their personal auto policy because it's a ride for hire. So there is no insurance when they do that, and they do it all the time. If they take a street hail, same thing. There is no insurance at all. And that's not just a problem, again, for the passenger, folks. It's a problem for the person who is struck completely innocently by somebody driving one of these cars. And these are problems that I really hope get dealt with on the other side. I know a lot of work's gone into this bill. I know it's got a head of steam, but these are problems that need to be addressed because it's going to affect a lot of people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.